Mail-In Podcast. It is March 9th today. This is coming out March 10th. March 8th was International Women's Day. Sally, happy International Women's Day to you and yours.
Who's yours? Like
you're like the women in your life.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Did Will wish you a happy International Women's Day yesterday?
No.
Well,
no, he did not.
Let Adam and I be the first.
Wow, thank you. And actually, the day this is coming out is my nephew Bane's birthday. Happy birthday,
shouts to Bane.
1 year old.
Happy birthday, Bane.
/ today.
You have a big 1 year coming up, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess a month or so.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
we'll have to recap his party after it happens because I have some real fun ideas.
Oh yeah, Sally has been brainstorming with me. I won't give them away right now, but let's just say you're going to enjoy them.
It's gonna be lit.
It's going to be lit. How are you, Sally?
I'm great. I have that trail mix stuck in my teeth, so that's cool.
Ooh, what makes a good trail mix in your mind?
A little sweet, a little salty, obviously. Yeah. But here's the issue. I thought that this trail mix that I was about to embark on was like some salty peanuts and then like just a dab of chocolate, like a little M&M or something.
Yeah.
Because you want it to think, you want to think you're being healthy even though you're not. Like nuts are high in fat. Like you don't need that many nuts, obviously. And you don't need chocolate.
Probably not.
I mean, as like a healthy snack, whatever. But this was just all different nuts. This is called the sweet and sassy mix.
Oh.
Butter toffee peanuts.
Okay.
Cajun peanuts.
Oh, spicy peanuts. Okay.
Roasted salted corn kernels. Honey roasted sesame sticks. Cajun sesame sticks. And roasted almonds. It basically all had like a honey sugar coating.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Which tasted delicious, but now it's all stuck to my teeth.
Right. That happens with trail mix from time to time. I'm a big, give me pretzel, raisin, peanut, M&M kind of vibes. That's kind of where I want to live.
You know what I really enjoyed out of this, though? The corn nuts.
Okay. Okay, corn nuts. Are you a fan of when people make like homemade Chex Mix? I don't think it's ever as good as the people want it to be.
You have to use so much butter, I feel like, for it to be
like
decent.
Melted butter type of thing.
Puppy chow.
Excuse me?
Is puppy chow? It's like the Chex Mix that's like tossed. You like, Adam knows what I'm talking about. It's Chex. Okay. It's like the rice and wheat Chex.
Sure.
Maybe it's just the rice Chex. I don't know.
The puffy ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lighter one, the blonde Chex. poured with chocolate.
Okay.
And then you put all of that into a bag full of powdered sugar and you just shake it up.
Oh, wow.
And so then it's like these chocolate powdered sugar covered Chex.
Goodness. It sounds good.
It's so
more
good.
Familiar now, but I don't think I've ever actually had
It's called puppy chow.
Puppy chow.
Okay. Maybe there's another name for it. That's what we called it.
It's interesting.
Adam's nodding like he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've tried to make my own Chex Mix. It's fun. It tastes fine. It never tastes as good as like a...
You have to way over season it.
Yeah, you have to way over season it. That's what it is. That's what all Chex Mix is like I'll suck the salt and the seasoning on everything. The Worcestershire sauce seasoning.
Yeah.
Oh, now my mouth is watering. We don't have Chex Mix in the office anymore because your husband likes Chex Mix a little bit. I'm just going to call him out right here, as do I.
Well, we don't have snacks at home. The
you
reason
see,
being that we're really snacky people, but like at work... Both of us have a lot of snacks. Like Will has, when Dave goes to the snack, when he loads
going to
up
be
the
honest,
snack drawer.
I have a thing of goldfish right next to me.
Yeah.
Don't clip
and
that,
I have all of the hospital snacks. Like in the doctor's lounge, we've got hella snacks.
Ooh, are they okay? Are they? How healthy are the doctor snacks?
Not at all. It's like we have a fridge that's full of water bottles, which I've been trying to be like environmentally conscious at work and bringing my water bottle.
Okay.
But then Austin has gone under several boil notices.
They sure have.
So we have to stop doing that. And like they'll put up a sign on the machine being like out of order whenever there's a boil notice, and then they just don't take it down for like months. So I haven't gotten any water from the hospital. So I just drink water bottles. But then it has like, we've got all the different types of soda. Or if you're from Texas, you call everything Coke, no matter what.
Yeah,
even if it's
weird
Sprite.
thing. Well, I'll let you go with that.
And then like a couple different milks and like Gatorades and vitamin waters, whatever.
Sure.
That's all in a fridge. And then to the side, you've got bunch of different types of chips. Usually you can always count on like both types of Doritos, some Vicky's, jalapeno, and barbecue. And then the little 2-packs of Oreos, which honestly are great because that's like a little 100 cal snack.
Yep, 100 cals. Get your sweet in. Get out.
Cheez-Its, Goldfish. I'm trying to think in my head. Fig Newtons.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Have you had a Fig Newton lately?
No.
They're fucking good.
I fucking love Fig Newtons though.
But then the creme de la creme snack that I discovered when I was pregnant, and I'm like banning myself because they're so good.
Oh, no.
Have you ever had a grandma's cookie?
Yeah. They're like the very kind of simple cookies, right?
No.
Let me see.
These are, it's in like a blue bag.
And there's white in white cream. Yes.
They're like vanilla cookies with white cream in. Oh my God.
So grandma's, they do a bunch of different ones. So
okay, I'm talking about the blue ones.
Yep.
What are those ones called?
I
know that there's other grandma's cookies.
I just knew I knew the name. Grandma's vanilla cookies.
Yeah. So downstairs, sandwich cookies. We had like at our other surgery center, we had like sleeves of them, like the size of Oreos. That's not a good plan. These ones are just like little mini ones in a bag.
Here it is. Those.
You can just pop those puppies, sandwich creams.
Mini sandwich creams, quality since 1914. I trust grandma.
But like, don't go to Costco and buy them like our snack department does. They're so good.
I remember I used to have the chocolate brownie grandmas. Unbelievable. Just unbelievably good. Their chocolate chip ones are really good too, honestly. Oh,
remember Famous Amos?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Famous Amos.
A little too crunchy for me, I think.
They were. I would do
Were you a Chips Ahoy boy?
The Chips Ahoy or Famous, whoever did the red chewy box that you could peel the top off of, and there was like chewy ones.
I don't know. Keebler had some good cookies too.
Keebler had great cookies. Big fan of the fudge striped. You know, like the donuts, like the pinstriped ones. Man. Have you seen Khloe Kardashian's snack pantry?
If I have, it's been a long time. I know for a fact that all the Kardashians load their fridge.
Can I get a live reaction from you on this podcast right now?
Yeah, I recently have looked at Kim's, and hers is just like all full of kale.
Okay. It's on your phone. I need you to live react to Khloe Kardashian's pantry. And to buy time, I will preface that people said this looks like a museum. And I would tend to agree based on the Kardashian level of wealth. Somebody said Kim would never have a pantry that looks like this based on how much processed food is involved.
You know what I think though? Because this is like, there's so much, it's so well organized. And there is a lot of snacky food. But then like, I'm looking right now, there's like 8 jars of plastic pickles. Honestly, she does not eat any of that. Her crew who films her eats that. Guaranteed.
This looks like a cruise station. Absolutely. So much barbecue sauce and hot sauce.
Well, that's one of those like giant walk-in pantries where you like, she's got her dishes on display and like, it's meant to be like.
Who is I see she has a lot of pasta in jars, right? And there has been a trend of the last, call it 2 years, pandemic, or maybe it was a Netflix show. Who?
Marie Kondo.
Is that who got everybody on the organized kick?
I mean, that was a big thing on Netflix, but I think all these companies will come in and like organize all your shit for you and like label it and make it look all beautiful.
That's the thing. It's like the new modern farmhouse is to like label your
but for your eyes.
Oh, okay. You know what does that for me? ASMR for my eyes is like Bob Ross painting.
No, mine is like cookie decorating videos on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, there's TikToks like that are just supposed to be like satisfying TikToks, right? Like scooping ice cream or something, like when it fits in the hole like perfectly.
Like hedging.
Yes.
Grass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow, 10 minutes in, we haven't answered a single question.
What else is new, Sally? You want to do some though?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you want to write in, please go to the link in our Twitter bio at MailInPodcast, or you can hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Follow us on Spotify and hit subscribe on iTunes to hear answers to questions like these and more. Let's get into it, Sally. Ready?
Yes.
Brett and Sally. When is it time to say I love you in a new relationship? I know I'm ready, but not sure if my girlfriend is as well. Is there a benchmark of weeks or months that I should know about to make sure I'm not too early, or do I just need to get it over and let it out already?
Uh,
Let me ask you this first. Is I love you a big deal to you? Those 3 words.
yeah. Yes and no.
Okay.
Okay. Let me explain this.
Sure.
I told Will I loved him first,
Mm-hmm.
accidentally, and we were probably like 2 months into dating.
Okay.
2 months of like, because the first like 6 weeks of us dating really was like him long distance, like him living in Michigan. So 2 months into like living in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
I tell like my girlfriends that I love them. Like I tell like my coworkers, I'm like, okay, love you, bye. Like I just say that to like, and I always used to hang up the phone like when I'm talking to somebody that I'm personable with, like whether it's a friend or my family or whatever, I'll just say, okay, love, bye. I would always say love, bye.
Okay.
So I was careful not to say it with Will, and I knew that I loved him, and he was coming to visit Houston when I was living in Houston for my birthday, and I had a feeling that we were both going to tell each other that weekend.
Okay.
And we were hanging out the phone, and instead of being like love, bye, because I had said that to him before, like nonchalantly,
Casually.
I was like, okay, I love you, bye, and I was like, oh shit. And then like we both got awkward and hung up, and then like he like texted me, and I was like crying. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I didn't mean to say that before you." And then I just owned it.
Wow. Okay.
So like yes and no. It shouldn't. If you love somebody, you should just tell them.
Yeah. I didn't see it as a big deal.
Right.
From, I guess, started in like high school, because it was very nonchalant. I started dating a girl in like 11th grade, and like the day after I started, I was like, love you, and she was like, no, like don't say that yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Like, why not? She taught me a lot about those mean something.
Relationship
Yeah,
norms.
totally. And then in college, I didn't say it for like 6 months, because like I'm like, okay, when it means something, you have to know you actually are like in love with it, not just like love you, bye, in love with the person. So like the last couple, I've waited probably 6 months or more to like, okay, I know I am in love with this person, and that's when I dropped it.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
like, but I don't think there shouldn't be like a
timeline.
No, it's not.
When you know you love somebody, you should just tell them. I personally,
yeah,
I think I freaked out because of like the societal, impact of it. I was like, I don't want to be the first one to like say it, and I don't want to like look bad. Whatever.
It's almost like it's like that first big step in a relationship. It's like not a proposal, obviously, but it's like, I wonder if she or he is going to say it back, right? Like there's a level of that.
It's also like, it's not The Bachelor, people. Okay?
No.
Which I don't know if anybody's been watching. Someone, aka Clayton, The Bachelor, has just been like telling everyone he loves them. And I mean, to me, that's a little like, hey, dude, like you've seen these girls like 4 times total. Like maybe you don't love them. And also like, I think here's like a great benchmark for me. Like Will and I were exclusively dating basically like the moment we met, but we've answered questions for people who've been like dating multiple people or possibly sleeping with multiple people. Like when you don't want to sleep with anyone else or date anybody else and you feel like you love them, like that's a safe time to tell somebody you love them. But like maybe don't tell somebody you love them if you're going on dates with somebody else.
I think that's probably fair.
That's like a fair benchmark.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's a benchmark of like very much exclusive, like you said, and it's a feel.
I get what this guy's saying. Like, You don't want to like go in one weekend and be like, I love you.
Yes.
But like if you're exclusive with somebody, if you're calling them your girlfriend, I think you're allowed to tell them that you love them if you actually love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you feel it's right, it's right. And then if it's not reciprocated right away, I don't think it's the end of the world.
Right. And yeah, some people play their cards a lot closer to the chest than I do. So if she doesn't reciprocate it right away, that doesn't mean that, like, she doesn't love you.
Totally.
Or won't love you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
She just may not be as confident in it yet.
But I would get to a point where you're comfortable enough in the relationship on both sides, like
right,
that you probably there's a good chance it would be reciprocated. I wouldn't be like, what's it called when you like love bombing or something?
Love bombing someone. Yeah, you don't want to just tell her because you're like worried that she's gonna not stick around.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yikes.
not. But this guy seems like he has good intentions. I think he's just worried about like, am I gonna say it too early? Like,
Yeah.
I think a couple months in, you're absolutely allowed to tell somebody.
Totally. Goes on feel, but there's no benchmark.
Yeah.
Fair.
Fair.
You know who I love?
Who?
My Rothys.
Oh wow, put it right up on the table there.
How would you describe Rothys in 3 words or less, Sally?
Comfy,
Mm-hmm.
stylish.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
Okay, 6 words, but I'll take that.
I said that
That's
I
5
love
words
them,
actually.
and it's only been a few months that I've had them. So
Wow.
maybe that wasn't.
Look at that tie-in. That is content, folks.
Wow.
They literally are the most comfortable shoes I wear on a daily basis, and they are stylish because I like the gum sole that I have. I have the bone shoe gum sole, and you can throw them right in the wash to clean them right up. So it's incredible. Say goodbye to the break-in period you usually have to go through with other shoes. Rothy's soft, flexible material combined with wildly comfortable insoles make them seriously one of the most wearable shoes you can own. I agree because I can wear them with socks, barefoot. To be totally honest with you, I pop the Rothys on so I get the no sock look.
I do know socks a lot.
Absolutely. They're that comfortable.
Yeah.
I was rocking Rothys in Vegas.
They feel like socks.
I don't think this is allowed to say on the ad read, but I was up like a good amount in blackjack wearing my Rothys. So that could be another thing that's built in. I don't think legally I can say that, but I'm not saying it's not their fault.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you were comfortable in your
Right.
in your
I was
feet.
comfortable. My brain was open to make good decisions.
You weren't worried about like having to go home and change your shoes.
Exactly. So Rothy's gives you an edge at the tables. Adam, you know what I'm saying? If dirty sneakers are your greatest pet peeve, rest easy because Rothy's shoes are 100% machine washable thanks to their sustainably made materials. You never, ever have to worry about dirtying them up. You just throw them in the wash and they're good to go like I do pretty much every other week. They're great. They're knit with 100% recycled materials. Even the sneaker laces are made from plastic water bottles. Sally's green initiative, like we talked about earlier. No wonder why Rothy's best-selling men's shoes give a 5-star review from almost every customer. And to top it all off, the driving loafer, which are awesome, was just named one of Time's 100 best inventions of 2021 in the style category, calling it an ideal shoe for the late pandemic era. Can't agree more. They're wool and they're sick. I'm going to have to wear them when my fall fit's coming up, Sally, in like
You can wear them
6 months.
and through all seasons.
You can, realistically. If you're still feeling skeptical about shoes made from recycled plastic, then try this on for size. Rothy's is doing something special. That's right. They gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners for a limited time. Right now, you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/mail. Head to rothys.com/mail to snag a pair of men's or women's shoes for yourself or someone else. That's rothys.com/MAIL. How about a voicemail, Sally?
Okay.
Hey, Brett and Sally. I have a kind of a problem that's related to a topic you talked about recently. I'm a 23-year-old dude living in New York, and I've been seeing multiple women lately, 3 to be exact. And one of them has been kind of going on actual dates, one has been a friend with benefits, and one has been kind of somewhere in between. And I've begun to develop feelings for the one with the actual dates. And I'm kind of wondering how do I end the friends with benefits and the other one in the best possible manner. I think both these shows are a little more into me than I am into them, and never had to break up with a friends with benefits / hookup. So what's the best way to do this in the cleanest way possible? All right, I'll shut up for one second.
Break it up with a friends with benefits, Sally.
He's going to end it with 2 of them, right?
Well, I think he has 3 right now. He has chosen, that's a weird word, but he is more into one than the others, and he needs to drop the other 2.
Right. Okay. And I'm assuming the one he
is
the one he's like been dating.
correct.
Okay.
He is dating somebody more seriously than the other 2. He has realized that he's actually into that one for sure.
Right. Okay.
He needs to drop the other 2 like a bad habit.
He's full on Claytoning these people.
Well, there's got to be, because like friends with benefits happen, right?
No, it does.
We usually talk about getting into them and
Right.
the texting involved and whatnot, but getting out of them is a different story.
As always, I think the fact that he is already thinking about like trying to let somebody down easy and like not just being a full dick and ghosting them already like puts him ahead of the game.
Yes.
Because he's
true.
clearly thinking about their feelings.
Very true.
So that's good.
Mark 1 for you.
Yeah, check. Number 2, I think that the friends with benefits is probably the easiest to cut off because likely like she knows that he mentioned that maybe she's more into him than he is into her, but like hopefully she knows like she's just in the hookup box and not like in a dating scenario.
Yeah, as long as that's clear.
So I feel like that one's a little bit easier to like go about and just be like, hey, I've really enjoyed our time together, but I don't see this like having a future.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's like, I mean, he can really say this to both of them. Like, I don't see this having a future. And out of respect for you, like, I don't think we should continue seeing each other.
Okay. Text or in person?
I think it depends on his relationship with both of them. Like with the friends with benefits, if like you don't see each other a lot and you're literally just like texting each other at 2 a.m.
This sounds like a booty call situation.
Then like I think a text is okay.
Okay.
The one that's kind of in between like dating and a friends with benefits, I think actually might take a little bit more maneuvering because it sounds like to me like she probably wants to date and he's like already moved her into the friends with benefits category.
Yep.
And maybe they've gone out a couple times and it's like led to hooking up. Maybe they have mutual friends. I think that takes a little bit more finesse, definitely of the like vein of it's been really fun getting to know you. I like happy to continue being friends. I just don't think that we should continue hooking up because I think that blurs the line for us and I don't see a future. That's perfectly honest to like be honest with somebody.
Agreed. And you are good at that. And I'm not. So I would employ the fizzle technique where I would let it fizzle and die naturally, ending up with her being like, hey, are we okay? Hey, come over. And I would say a no or I can't because I don't like confrontation. And I would fizzle and that's how it would play out with me.
I think fizzle is okay as long as it's not like a ghosting.
Fizzle, don't ghost.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, fizzle. Don't ghost.
Yeah.
I've done both. And I feel like an asshole for ghosting.
Yeah.
Years later.
Obviously, I'm always of the camp of like, just rip the Band-Aid off and tell them.
Totally.
And truthfully, I think in this situation, because there's 3 girls involved, like it's probably better to nip it in the bud right now.
I agreed.
Because you don't want to be with the girl that you're hoping to date exclusively and then be getting texts from one of them being like, hey, where are you? Like, come over, blah, blah. And then she'd be like, why are you texting other girls?
It's 2 a.m. and you're getting you up texts when you have just started a new relationship and you're just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to break it off, but I'm going to let it fizzle. And because Brett said so, now I'm in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Multiple women or men. I mean, that's when you got to nip them in the bud for sure. For sure.
Right. Because you don't want to hurt the person that you're like, I mean, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you're definitely not trying to like put yourself in a bad situation.
Don't put a tender heart in a blender, Sally.
Okay. Thanks, Eve 6.
Well done.
Yeah, I think you tell the hookup like it's been great. I don't think that we should keep hooking up anymore.
You're not as good as the other person that I'm seeing.
No, but like just be like it's getting like confusing, and I don't see us
Mhm.
dating. Like no, what's weird is like we're so afraid of being honest with each other and just like telling each other like how we really feel. I think there's a line between being rude to somebody and being frank with somebody. And
Totally.
like telling your hookup like I don't have any feelings for you. Like
like that or whatever. This has been fun. We have a good physical connection.
but
Emotionally, we're not going to make it going forward. I'm sorry. I'd love to be friends.
don't have
If
to
not,
say, like,
fine.
you're not cute or cool enough to be my girlfriend, so bye. Like
Right.
that's rude. Just say like I don't see a future with us, and I think it's making it more complicated if we continue to hook up.
And don't say it's not you, it's me. Please
Right.
don't say that.
And honestly,
Adam's like,
I think people are like,
that hurt.
I want people to be honest with me, and then when somebody's honest with them, they don't take it well, and I think that's what deters other people from honesty.
Mm-hmm.
But that's their issue. That's not your problem. If you tell them exactly what you feel and why you're not continuing, they can't hold anything against you. Like he led me on, like because you can just be like, I don't see this going anywhere anymore.
Yeah, totally.
That's the truth.
That's the truth, and it's more fair to you and myself to move on, right?
Right. So you can fizzle. I think this situation calls for more
I think we nailed that.
confrontation.
Fizzle if you want to on one person, multiple people. It's cut to the chase.
I'm still never gonna like fully
I know.
back the fizzle,
I know.
but
I'm just saying.
I
I agree. I would rather cut it off, but fizzle would be my method because
I know, but I think you have to think about what your ultimate fear of is, and most people, and the reason that they ghost or fizzle is because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings.
correct. Yeah, it's not out of a place of
Right, but you don't realize that you're actually hurting the person more.
Yep.
By like
totally
just slowly backing into the hedge, Homer Simpson style.
yes.
Like it's probably gonna hurt the person minutely for a second when they first hear it because they were expecting to continue hooking up with you or date you or whatever. But that small amount of time of ripping the Band-Aid off
is
versus
better
like
than
slowly
breadcrumbing and fizzling where they have anxiety and like dread
second
over
guessing themselves. I would much rather be told like I don't see us being compatible than like wondering for weeks like, does he not like me? Like, what's wrong with me? Do I need like, am I not fun enough? Am I not skinny enough? Like all of the things that go through your head.
And I think it's even less of an argument for fizzling in this guy's case because he has a girl that he's dating, right? Instead of a multiple like friends with benefits, he doesn't know if the grass is greener type of thing.
Right.
You know, like
he
has a
knows
pretty
what he
sure
wants.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's more of an argument. Okay. I think we got that. Landed the plane there.
I will always, I'm just, every episode's going to be me against you.
Being honest.
versus fizzling.
Hey guys, I've been asked to attend a conference for work next month. This will be my first professional conference, and I'm a little nervous. I don't want to be in a new city alone all week, but I'm not sure how these things usually work. I'll be attending a young professionals mixer the first night, so I'm hoping to meet people, but I feel like I'm just going to be sitting alone listening to lectures all week. Is it normal if that is the case? Other people from my company will be going, but no one that I know. What is the vibe of these events usually, and will I be miserable alone? Any advice to meet people? I'm a 25-year-old woman going to chemical engineering conference for reference. Shouts to our women in STEM.
Yeah.
And women, period.
Okay. I'm going to like be fully honest.
Okay.
I've gone to like 2 conferences total for work.
Shouts to medical conferences.
Yeah. And it's always been with people I know.
Okay.
So I haven't like done any of these totally alone. That being said, I have like had to attend work events totally alone where you like don't know anybody.
Yeah.
That's always really intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so. I'm looking at this like a week alone. I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds
A
so
hotel
tight.
room that's paid for, like.
I have realized with age that I'm like becoming more and more of an introvert. I always thought I was very outgoing and extroverted, and I think there are times when I am like that.
Yeah.
But with age, I've just like become more awkward. Like instead of just like introducing myself to people, like here's a great example. If I'm with somebody I know and they start talking, this was like when Will and I first started dating. If I'm with someone like Will and he runs into a friend, like when we
Okay.
were in Michigan and stuff, and he would talk to them, I'll just stand on the side and like not say anything.
Yeah.
And I have to like consciously make the effort and be like, Sally, just introduce yourself. Like,
Yeah.
hi, I'm Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you. And I used to get pissed at Will for like not introducing me. Like, that's your job.
Fair.
But then I'm like, you know what? I just gotta like, no
Hey.
one's gonna be like, what? Who's this weirdo who just introduced herself to me? Like, whatever.
Who's this redhead that's not from here?
Yeah. So no one's gonna go home from this chemical engineering conference and be like, who's that weird girl who like came up and said hi to me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
people actually really enjoy it when you're personable. It's just hard to remember that because we all like have confidence when like we're 4 and 5 and can just like go up to random kids in our kindergarten class.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you like all of your social anxiety sets in and you're like, this person's going to think I'm a freak if I just like go shake their hand and say
Right.
like, hi, I'm, you know,
Well-
especially here's a great, you don't have to just start walking up to randos.
No,
But if you're like
no.
sitting next to somebody at the event or you're happen to be at the bar next to them, it's not creepy or weird to just turn to the side and be like, hi, I'm Sally. I work at so and so. How are you liking Chicago? What's your
There
name?
you go. I have 3 points. Ready for these?
Yeah.
1, you said you have people from your company going, but you don't know them. Okay, you have a built-in starter conversation with people. You see your little logo on somebody's whole like vest, little chemical engineering. What do they use? Microscopes or something like that. 1, easy. Get those out of the way first. 2, you're at a conference where everybody is similar in something. Chemical engineering, whether it's marketing, sales, whether it's science, whether it's the engineering part of it. So you have a built-in avenue with everybody there already. Somebody has something in common with you everywhere you look. So that's why conferences are easy. And third is, you kind of alluded to it, and you don't need to directly be like tapping people on the shoulder like, hi, I'm Cindy, I work in chemical, like whatever. Use a third party. It's like summer camp. Use a third party to introduce a conversation. With me, I've never been good at like walking up to a girl at a bar and saying, hi, I'm Brett. I can't do it. I cannot do direct. But I was always really good at a summer camp or in a work, like a group at in the library for school, like introducing myself, because there was an activity
Right.
or something that I could like bounce an initial comment off and get involved with somebody in a conversation circle. At this work conference, you mentioned a bartender. Perfect way to start a conversation. Bartender's in front of you. Somebody, you're sitting next to somebody. You can make a comment about their drink, about their logo, like, oh, that's a rival firm, and like, can you actually not serve her that drink or him that? And you make a joke that way. So bounce a conversation off a third party, whether it's an activity or a bartender or a third person, in order to introduce yourself to the person next to you. That technique I found has been invaluable at
not as, like,
conferences.
Intimidating. 'Cause you're
Way
like-
less intimidating.
On the other side of this question, like, I kind of love that she's going to be alone. Like, use this as a time to like go explore the city.
Also that. Totally that.
Like, go find places to like go eat or like sit outside or shop or like do cool stuff.
Yep.
Or if you're me, go to your hotel room and get in your robe and watch Netflix all night. That sounds dope
Sure.
as hell.
Yeah. Go.
She's 25 though. She's probably not like this old lady who's 32 just wants to sit in a robe, because I fucking love sitting in a robe.
Do it for a night if she's there for a week. But another couple tips I have are, 1, lower the expectations.
Yeah.
Like, people go to work conferences thinking it's going to be Animal House or
And it's
American
just
Pie.
not. I mean, yeah.
Or a rom-com, and they're going to meet the love of their life. I understand the excitement for a first work conference. I understand like what happens at work conferences, like the mystique of them. Lower the expectations and just go into it like ready for anything. Don't be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to find the love of my life. Don't be, I'm going to find my dream job. Don't think I'm going to have 19 friends come out of this. Like, just go in, expectations on the floor, and anything above that's gravy. And number 2 is go sit alone. Go be alone. Go like sit at a hotel bar alone, because that's one of my favorite things to do in the world.
Yeah.
Sit at a hotel bar with a laptop, people watch, and just kind of get a read on the whole situation. Ask your hotel bartender what's cool in the area. Go find that. Like you said, go sit down at a restaurant by yourself. Like get some you time in. I think these things are great for figuring out what you like.
I would love to go on a trip by myself.
Just a work conference. I did
So
one.
wistful.
I did one in
it.
Nashville
I know.
with for podcasts.
Nice.
And same kind of thing. I knew like one group of people and ended up having a blast and hanging out at the hotel bar, meeting people. We're networking. It's just, these conferences are cliche for a reason, because there is a lot of sitting by yourself in a hotel boardroom that's like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
But business connections and networking and all of that happens afterwards anyway, at least in my experience, as in afterwards at the bar or lobby, not the designed breakout sessions,
Right.
ever. But they're fun. I mean, I think just go in with expectations low and have fun.
Yeah.
I think we did well with that one too. So we're on a roll today, Sally. You know what I hope they have at the conference?
I can guess.
Just like buckets of Vizzy everywhere.
That would loosen people up a little bit.
It sure would, because good vibes are needed at conferences, on boats, on the golf course, on my patio while I'm grilling. And Vizzy is like the vehicle of good vibes. Have you seen their new flavors?
Which ones are we talking about?
The mimosa ones, Sally.
I did not know they had mimosa.
Vizzy
flavors.
just launched their first nationwide mimosa hard seltzer. I was going to say Mimo hard seltzer, but wanted to make sure everybody knew what I was saying. Vizzy has taken the classic OJ and champagne duo to a new level by creating a hard seltzer inspired by the classic cocktail. Vizzy Mimosa Hard Seltzer is made with real OJ and is going to come in 4 delicious flavors for summer. Ready for these, Sally?
Yes.
Tell me what you're most excited for. Strawberry orange, pineapple orange, peach orange, and pomegranate orange.
I think like maybe peach orange, like a little Bellini situation.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to go pineapple orange.
Okay.
Because
Tropical.
I like a pineapple mimosa, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what I was doing at the blackjack table was pineapple vodkas.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that in a Vizzy read, but anyway. It's made from superfruit acerola. We know this, the acerola cherry. Vitamin C, where other hard seltzers do not have them. Vizzy also has a lemonade hard seltzer as well as a watermelon hard seltzer, and each variety pack offers 4 delicious fruit flavors and the same antioxidant vitamin C. I remember back in the day, Adam and Sally, used to be the OGs.
I mean,
The original
OGs are
4.
still really good.
They're still great. And then they came out with variety pack number 2. Then they went with the lemonades, and now in the watermelons, and now here we are with the mimosa hard seltzers. They've come a long way, our friends over at Vizzy.
What's your favorite flavor?
My favorite
Of
flavor
all of the flavors.
of all Vizzy's right now is the peach lemonade.
Okay.
Peach lemonade is my favorite today, but the mimosas might have something to say about that. We'll see.
Yeah. I have made Vizzy mimosas before.
I have too. Oh, absolutely.
So this makes it easier because now I don't have to buy orange juice.
Vizzy Hard Seltzer is the hard seltzer that passes the vibe check, because Vizzy is a vibe. If you're like me and eager to try Vizzy Hard Seltzer, here's how you can do so. Find out where you can purchase Vizzy by going to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. To get updates on their latest flavor drops and more, sign up for their emails at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. You must be 21 plus. Next one, Sally. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mail-in crew. Recent post-grad here, and in what seems to like the never-ending string of weddings phase. I know that one.
Been there.
That's great, but becoming rather costly rather quickly. I'm in several wedding parties in the next 6 to 8 months and need some advice. Is it common not to attend the bachelor party and still be in the wedding? New to this phase of life and swinging several weekends for travel is doable, but tacking on additional days off work and costliness for travel and lodging seems unlikely for me. Don't want to have to pick and choose which of my friends' big days to be more involved in, but doesn't seem prudent time-wise or financially just to say yes to everything. Definitely don't want to be excluded from wedding-specific activities, but how is best to deal with the time and money commitment and still be there for your boys? Thanks in advance.
We've all been there.
Still figuring this one out, by the way. I don't have a perfect answer.
So for me, I went broke in my 20s going to other people's weddings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like all of my time and money was going to other people's events, which was really fun. And I had a great time.
Yep.
But I look back now and I'm like, I should have said no to some stuff.
Sure.
It wasn't until I was older and mostly actually in grad school that I actually said no to stuff because I legitimately could not go because I, had tests and stuff coming up. So, but there were times like my 24-year-old self was like living paycheck to paycheck and spending, $4,000 on someone's bachelorette party. It's just like not okay.
Yeah.
And we just think that it is because we live in a world of Instagram and Pinterest and like thinking that that's what we're supposed to do. And I look back and I remember being like, I can't say no to like one of my friends and like then go to somebody else's bachelorette party. Like they'll see that and like be so upset.
Yeah.
I look back on that now and I'm like, you know what? Your real friends will understand. And
absolutely. That is the biggest thing.
It feels so life or death at the time for everyone involved, but especially the bride or the groom. I feel like maybe I'm wrong here, but this feels like a bigger deal for bridal stuff than it does for like being a groomsman.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a lot of the times because there's an extra commitment, usually with a bridal shower.
Right.
An extra commitment with the clothing.
Right.
Because guys, mansplaining here, we can either rent a tux or we can reuse a suit over and over. And that's kind of like one of my tips here is buy a suit or two that's nice enough that you can reuse it or flip out the ties each time and you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
With girls, it's like, if I wear the same dress to 2 weddings, oh my God, Instagram is going to come after me.
I think one easy way to cut out a big portion of the expenses by not going on the bachelorette party.
Yep. Would you rather not have somebody you're close with at the bachelorette party or the wedding?
At the bachelorette party. I would rather than be at my wedding, probably.
Yep. That's kind of how I have handled things like these.
Right.
I've had to skip a couple bachelor parties in my time.
And so here's my tips of advice. First of all, I think for me, like I said, one of the biggest like things that you're probably worried about is like, okay, well, if I go to Tim's bachelor party and wedding, but then I don't go to John's bachelor party, he's going to see that I went to Tim's and like, then he's going to think that I'm like better friends with Tim, blah, blah.
Sure.
That's not the case. And here's how I think that you can navigate that. One, if you're the best man, obviously this changes everything. You're pretty much committed.
You have to be locked in. Yeah.
Or if you're a sibling, I think if it's one of your best friends, you make every effort to like be part of their day.
Yeah. He mentioned being in the wedding.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I try to swing 2 on.
Right. If you're in the wedding, you need to make an effort. But if you're in, I've been there where I was in probably 6 weddings in a year. I mean, that's also 6 bachelorette parties. Like that's a lot of commitment. So I think an easy way to like kind of decide of who's you're going to go to is one, like, is the bachelor party, say you live in Chicago, is the bachelor party in Chicago?
Local.
That makes it easier to go local. Or vice versa, like if their wedding is local and they're going out of town for the bachelor party, maybe that's one you swing to go out of town because you're not going to have to travel for the wedding.
Yeah.
For me, I think the people that like have the out of town wedding and the out of town bachelor party, that's one where you're like, I have to pick one or the other because I don't have the money. And I think you can confidently say that to the bride or groom in a nice way. Like, totally I love you. I definitely want to be there to support you. It's going to be really hard for me to swing 2 out-of-town trips.
Yeah. And he already mentioned he's a recent post-grad. Like, these are
Right.
the times that people get it. They're
Right.
24, 25. You can't throw, you don't have, 200,000 miles built up on the card yet to.
And honestly, people should get this at all aspects of life. Like, because when you
Sure.
get older and you have a kid, like, you have to deal with that. Or, even if you're like fully financially stable, people have work commitments, people have
Mhm.
children, people have family stuff to go to. Like, I had to miss a girlfriend's bachelorette party and I was in school, but I came back to Austin. Her bachelorette party was in Austin because it was like my grandfather's like huge 80th birthday party. I was like, I can't miss that. Like, my parents will like
Sure.
be so upset with me. So for me, those are like kind of the hard and fast rules. Try to go to the local stuff for sure.
Yep.
Even if it's, especially if it's local and you can like get away with like only going for a night or two. And then if they are asking you to go out of town for both things, I think that you can confidently say to them like, hey, I don't think I can swing both of these things. I'm going to just come to the wedding.
Yeah. And I think your point very much stands. Like, friends are going to understand. Like, if your friends are getting, I can see them being like, oh, like it's bummer that John can't come.
Right.
But that's going to be the extent of it.
And then the other thing I think people forget about, because all of a sudden in the past decade, we've decided that like every bachelor party needs to be a 3-day event.
True. Yeah.
And I don't think that that's the case. I mean, that's fun
Mhm.
and 3-day trips are great, but you do not have to be there for all 3 days.
Correct.
The bachelor or the group or the bride probably will be there, and so will like her best man or
Yeah.
the maid of honor and her.
If you need to fly in on Friday night at 10 o'clock,
That's what you
That's
do.
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
people have work commitments. Taking off a Thursday and a Friday for work is really difficult for some people.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
like for me, because I worked 3 12-hour shifts a week, it was like easier to finagle my schedule like that.
Yep.
And so I was always like first person there on Thursday.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be the first person there.
No.
Like, you just don't, you save the money by like not paying for the Thursday night thing.
That's a great way to save money.
And honestly,
Even the Friday night thing.
we've talked about this in the past about like, don't be the like splitting hairs, check splitter, like whatever. I think the
Mhm.
one time you can be selfish though, I mean, people feel differently about this all the time about whether or not to split checks and stuff, but I have always stuck up for when bachelor party or when we would like get an email like price breakdown,
Mhm.
I'd be like, hey, like I wasn't there at all on
Sure,
Thursday.
yeah.
I
didn't
cannot afford
participate
to
in
pay
the-
for Thursday stuff.
The
I'm sorry.
vineyard, the bus to the vineyard.
Right.
That you guys spent
And
$400
I'm not
on.
going to pay for a Thursday night hotel when I
Yes.
wasn't there. Like, and you don't have to be an asshole about it, but
Yeah.
maybe, especially if you're coming in on a Friday, like let the bachelor or the like best man or the maid of honor know, be like, hey, I'm trying to save a little bit of money. So my compromise was coming in on a Friday. Just want to make sure that's taken into account whenever we like start splitting checks.
There you go. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think
And
that's,
no one's going to like fault you for trying to save money. Cause this is the thing. I went to everything on a Thursday
Yeah.
and stayed till Sunday
Mhm.
and went to every freaking bridal shower and whatever. And the people that were coming in on Friday, I was jealous of because I was like, I'm going full on broke. And these people are having the smart decision of being like, I have to be at work, so I'm not coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's totally fine.
And so
then-
no one's going to judge you. Trust me. If anything, they're going to wish that they were you.
And from like a money saving standpoint, I mentioned buying and like having one suit for
Mhm.
for a guy. That's a go-to. Have a couple, like you don't need a new suit for Instagram for every wedding you go to or every rehearsal dinner you go to.
That being said, I agree with you on the suit front, especially if you're wearing tuxes.
Yep.
Buy a tux.
Yeah, touches. That's kind of, I'm getting into that territory now where I'm getting invited to more black tie weddings. And I think a tux kind of pays for itself between like 4 and 5.
For
weddings.
sure.
Yeah.
Will like when we first started dating, we went to I think 4 black tie weddings in like
Yep.
a 6-month span.
Mhm.
And he was gonna rent a tux, and I was like, no, we're gonna buy one. And
Mhm.
here's the thing, you can buy a decently priced tux. I think his first one was from Men's Warehouse.
Sure.
Buy it cheaper, and then go get it tailored to fit you.
You can tailor and can put a couple $100 on your suit like that.
Because a tux
Not in a bad way. I'm saying in a
Right,
in
a
a
tux
beneficial way.
is, for the most part, black You're wearing a bow tie. You're wearing the same shit as everyone else. And people who have rented tuxes probably look the same as yours.
Yeah.
It's hard to like make a really, really cheap looking tux. Obviously, expensive tuxes look expensive, but when you're post grad, no one is looking around being like, oh my God, check out Adam's like amazing tux. Like no one cares. So go buy a cheap tux at Men's Warehouse and then go get the pants and jacket tailored to like look perfect on you.
Mhm.
That's
Easy.
it.
Easy. And I'll probably do that soon.
And then
actually.
when you like, Will bought a new tux for our wedding that he's since worn. You know,
Mhm.
when you have the money, that's when you can like upgrade. But like
Sure.
at a wedding, when you're 24, 25,
Nobody cares.
and everyone's just spilling drinks on each other, no one gives a shit.
Grinding
Stop
on the
spending
dance floor.
Like I had to tell myself that. I mean, on the flip side for girls, Brett, like I spent money on wedding dresses that I would wear like one time
Of
and spill
course.
vodka all over.
Yeah.
Use Rent the Runway or borrow dresses from your friends.
Yeah.
Like stop. You don't have a choice for bridesmaids dresses,
Right.
but like
right.
as a guest of a wedding, I think girls are always like, oh my gosh, I want to like get something new and fun. That also caused me to go broke because I would buy a dress that I would wear like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah. I think Rent the Runway is awesome. You can also get stuff that you couldn't afford ordinarily
Right.
to rent for the night, and you look better than you could have if you got
You're
something.
not going to like rewear it. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to own it.
I love Rent the Runway. I wish there was Rent the Runway for guys. I did
I'm
cool
sure
ass
there
suits.
is.
There,
I mean,
there
you can rent
probably
tuxes and suits.
That's true. You can. I thought I've only rented tuxes in my life, and then for
But,
suits
like,
I kind of default to.
If I was a girl and I knew that I was going to have to like wear the same dress 4 times over, I would buy the dress.
Sure,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Next one, Sal.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. I'm back in my office for the first time in years, and I'm realizing that next week I won't be able to sit on my couch on Slack and take in all 32 NCAA tournament games while coincidentally betting them like a degenerate. Any tips on navigating watching games in the office? It's my first corporate environment, and I figured it's not exactly like college.
Oh man, March Madness.
The 2 of my favorite days, Thursday and Friday, watching those 16 games a day.
Everyone knows that this is my favorite time to be in Vegas by far.
Oh, it's a unbelievable. Like it's becoming a Super Bowl weekend
Yeah.
for Vegas,
Um.
if not there already.
No, I think it's surpassed Super
Wow.
Bowl weekend for sure. Again, hard for me to totally tell you what I do because working in a medical situation, like we can't like be on a computer.
You're turning
constantly.
patients' TVs onto to CBS and TNT. Like click.
Have I done that before? Yes, I have. Okay. Master Sunday. Okay. I was like
Just like,
watching
Oh, this patient's asleep for a little bit. Click.
Yeah. Yes. No, I mean, I think most people are probably like have ESPN like as a tab on their computer
Of
and like
course,
obviously
yes.
on their phone.
Yes.
Turn your computer on mute, be able to click over, have a couple tabs up. And
you
then
remember-
just like be readily available to answer some questions. And obviously at lunch or like when you leave work, you can go to like a bar and watch the rest of the games.
Absolutely. I think I don't want to say everybody, but like this day and age, it's becoming one of those you're not going to be productive days. If you're a man or woman who enjoys those 2 days,
Yeah.
which a lot of people do now. Gambling is obviously becoming more prevalent in the United States. It's becoming like the Monday after the Super Bowl, where a lot of the people are going to be in the same boat.
Here's the question I have. And I'm only asking this because I'm like, it's always on for me. I'm never the one like searching for what games are. And I know that they're
It's a
usually on
full-time
like
job in itself.
TNT,
True
TBS. Okay. So there's like multiple channels. Is there a channel that's like a red zone situation where they're just like showing like
I don't know.
game ending shots?
There should be, if there's not.
Because I feel like usually for March Madness, if I'm watching games, I'm like watching at a bar or something. And so we're like, people are flipping to the end of the games. Obviously, like if you're watching something like an ESPN, they're probably like showing like this just happened in the Creighton game and like showing like a buzzer beater or whatever.
Yeah.
But like kind of wouldn't that be nice if there was like a red zone for basketball that
It
was
would.
like, I mean, you can't do a red zone because it would like if they had to show every basket, but like was showing like the last like couple minutes of a game, you know?
I love it. Yeah, usually they pretty much have 2 or so going at once.
Well, yeah, usually there's
You
like a
stagger them by like
split screen
11 minutes or
situation
whatever it
going
is.
on
Yeah.
too.
So it always seems to be like there's 10 minutes left in the game when one's ending, and then 2 elders are tipping at that kind
Right.
of time for the first 2 days. But there should be something that's just like a whip around where we are covering endings, we're covering
Well,
tip
like
off.
usually I feel like all of those channels, when they're in the last couple minutes of a game, like people are just fouling each other back and forth and like nothing super exciting's happening.
You're
They're
absolutely
like
right.
flipping to something else for just a second to show what's going on. Here's my advice to this guy. I don't think I agree with you. I don't think that like he's going to do anything super egregious if he just has a couple tabs pulled up in his phone, but poll your friend group for like what's your favorite app to be on. Like
There you go. Yeah.
I check all the scores because we do like brackets. I just get
Yeah.
on the tournament challenge app and like see, because like most of
Yeah.
the time I'm not super invested unless I'm in Vegas. I'm just like
Mhm.
looking, being like, oh, I won that one, cool.
Yeah.
But they update all the scores live, so like that's easy.
I'm trying to think. I mean, my last 2 jobs have been a little unique when it comes to those days, but
Yeah,
I'd probably be phone guy. I'd have
Yeah.
my phone like propped up on a game
yeah.
next to my lap, my monitor or whatever it is.
And then you can click a tab over for a different thing if you need to.
Exactly. Yeah. Click a tab. They used to have, do you remember when there would be like whatever the NCAA March Madness app was online had
Uh-huh.
like my boss button, and you could click on it and it would flash to like a random PowerPoint screen.
Oh no, that's
It was
kinda
so
hilarious.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, boss is walking by, click.
But I'm just assuming that like if you're on like ESPN's homepage, they're gonna just be have a full
Oh, of
scoreboard.
course. Of course. And like it feels like even the most corporate environments nowadays are getting to the point where like work-life balance, like it's going to be on a TV in your
Well,
office
and like
somewhere.
on a Thursday and Friday, you probably have the license to like sneak off at 4.
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
go
go
to
watch
happy hour.
games. Go with happy hour with some work friends. Create an opportunity out of it. There you
Yeah.
go. Or get a vasectomy and just sit on your balls for 2 days.
What?
You've never heard of guys doing that?
Just
They get a vasectomy on Wednesday so they can be out of work Thursday, Friday, and ice their balls and watch basketball. And then back to work on Monday.
then do you go get it reversed, or they just
You
like,
don't- you
choose
can't-
this time as their like?
They choose it
Vasectomy.
because it's convenient and you just
Okay.
watch basketball.
I,
And then you're back to work on Monday.
okay. I
Never
guess
heard of that one.
schedule a low risk medical procedure for Wednesday, like a
Yep.
dental surgery,
Yep.
and then be gone on Thursday, Friday.
Perfect. But
I am
think-
not endorsing this, by the way. That was Brett.
Plenty of options. But it's not like college where you can sit in your big
With like 8 different TVs.
lecture hall with
Yeah.
everybody's got a different TV in front of you, and good times. Let's do the last one, Sally. Hey guys, how do you nicely and politely ask your partner to stop doing something that really fucking annoys you? I'm in a long distance relationship right now, and every night my girlfriend will text me about the shows she's watching. I absolutely can't stand it. If I wanted to know every detail about Love is Blind, I would watch it myself. I now know the entire plot of Friday Night Lights, so I no longer want to watch it. As always, your help is appreciated. I can see this guy just sitting on his couch, like his girlfriend's next to him, or just like the phone's just buzzing. It's like, bzz,
Yeah.
bzz, bzz. He's just like, oh my God, click, 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 click.
This is hard because they're in a long distance relationship, and I think, like when you're in long distance, you just feel like any topic that you're like continuing to talk about is like keeping you connected to that person.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so like she probably
She thinks
feels
you
like
love it.
you're both like watching TV, and she's like, oh, if I'm like texting him about
Mhm.
the show I'm watching, like we're in communication.
Yeah.
And that is like how we're like building rapport and like whatever.
That's how you know you're in a relatively new long distance relationship.
Right.
In an old one, it's like, I can't even. I'm trying
Like
to.
Will
figure out
and
what to
I
say,
feel
but-
like when we were long distance would text like most of the day, just like randomly, like how's your day going, whatever.
Mhm.
And then at night, a lot of times we would like talk on the phone, before I would like when I would was coming home from work or whatever, and we'd like get our shit done, make dinner, whatever.
Yep.
And then mostly be like, hey, I'm gonna watch TV. Call me before you go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Check
So-
out for a couple hours.
Yeah. And I think depending on where you're at in your relationship, like that, having some separation is important. Because even though you're long distance, you like need the time to spend by yourself.
Very true.
And so I don't know if like this is partially that, like he just like needs some alone time, or he just like legitimately doesn't give a shit about what she's watching. It's like when someone like tells you what they ate that day, and you're like, why would I care?
Well, I can see him getting it like every night. She's like, oh my God. And then Peter did this. And then Jane said this.
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't care at all, at whatsoever.
I think it's okay to tell her.
I think so too. I think you can be like, hey, you watch your shows, I'm gonna watch mine. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not into it. Or you can be like, I already saw it.
I think a nice way to say it, because I'm trying to think back of like something that Will told me that he like that I did that like annoyed the shit out of him. And now like I mean even now he probably like is trying to like be nice to me so that I don't like
It's fair.
punch him in the face. But
Mhm.
I think it's totally acceptable to just be like, hey, unless we're watching the show together, let's not talk about the TV we're watching. Like I don't need a play by play, and it's like really distracting to me while I'm trying to unwind.
Mhm.
Like I think saying that, like getting
Yeah.
constant text about what you're watching is like hard for me to watch what I'm watching. And so why don't you watch your show and I'll watch my show, and then we'll talk before we go to bed.
Perfect.
And then if you need to be like a little bit more stern, you can be like, I am now not able to watch the shows you're watching because I've already gotten a full play by play.
Rundown. Yeah. I think that's very fair to break it down from like a, hey, I appreciate this. We can still text about other things. We don't need to be like blackout. But I'm all set with the play-by-play on the
Yeah.
TVs.
I think you do the sandwich method. You do the nice, you say nice, something
Ooh,
nice, then hit her with the
nice.
like, this is annoying, and then you hit her with something nice again.
There you go.
So like, I love you. I enjoy your zest for Love Island.
Yep.
I don't want to get the full play-by-play anymore. It's hard for me to concentrate on what I'm doing. And now I don't want to watch the shows that you've already told me all about. But let's either watch a show together and
Yeah.
we can recap it later,
Mhm.
or like we'll take our time to watch what we're watching, and then we'll text about other stuff.
There you go. Still would love to have you popping up on my phone. Just doesn't need to be play-by-play.
Yeah.
I think that's solid.
Will
Trying to
told
think of
me,
other things.
like, I think the thing that he really hated when we first started dating was that I like leave every door and drawer open all
Oh my
the time.
God, that would infuriate
like,
me.
Kills him. And so he finally was like, I have to tell you something. I was like, what? He's like, you leave every drawer open and I need you to shut them. And like, I was like, oh, okay. Like he was like so serious about it. I was like, I'm so sorry it's been annoying you that much. And he was
Mhm.
like, it really annoys me. And honestly,
Wow.
I was like, okay, I respect the honesty. And then I continue to do it, not on purpose, but I'm like, I'm not doing it like just to piss you off. Like, just tell me if I'm doing it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
She definitely, the girlfriend doesn't know what she's doing is really annoying.
No, she has no clue.
Yeah. So
Trying to think
she
if
might
Caroline,
just need to know.
If Caroline has any. I'm sure there is, but I just can't really. That's good. There's nothing like top of mind, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what she'll do sometimes is like, she'll leave like ingredients out. If we've made a meal,
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, that salsa probably needed to go back in the fridge 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Will and I, when we
But
were
I
long
think
distance,
I do that too. So
decided that we would not text each other about what we ate unless it was like something super life changing
yeah.
or like made us violently ill. We're like, I don't need to know that you had 2 tacos for dinner. It's so
Oh.
boring to talk about.
Damn.
Why are you telling me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
I
think
send Caroline pictures of my tacos when I finish them.
well, maybe y'all enjoy it, but I think for Will and I, we were like,
she's like, fuck these tacos. all the
yeah,
time."
like I think Will and I were just like, hey, what'd you have for dinner? Oh, I had this. Oh, cool. I had a quesadilla. It was like, no one needs to know.
Damn.
If you're really excited about it and it warrants a text, great.
Yeah. My tacos are good.
But like,
Sally.
what's your threshold for texting somebody? The girlfriend's threshold is quite low. She
It's
needs
true.
to raise the threshold of like exciting things to text about.
Also, she loves tomatoes. Caroline loves tomatoes. I hate tomatoes. So that's a very annoying thing that I can never switch.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Fuck
do you like? But
tomatoes.
do you do like salsa and like spaghetti sauce?
Oh, I
and
love
stuff?
tomato-based products.
Right. You just don't like eat tomatoes.
No. Unless they are like dried tomato, like sun-dried tomatoes.
I'm like 50-50 on tomatoes. Sometimes I'll do it. Like I
Ugh,
like them more than I used to, but I don't just like I will like get no tomatoes on most of my sandwiches.
Yeah. Like the big
But it like doesn't
circle
ruin it
slice
for
of
me.
a tomato. I'm out. Ugh. You're just giving me the heebie-jeebies. So I got like a ASMR thing down my spine there. Anyway. Before we head out of here, any shower thoughts?
Mine's not so much as a shower thought as something that has been happening to me recently, and I finally realized what it was today. So
Oh gosh.
I've been having these dreams. I know no one wants to hear about my fucking dreams.
Okay,
But
I do.
just need to know if somebody else experiences this.
Okay.
I've been having these dreams where I am talking to somebody, but my eyes are closed and I like can't open them. And I'll just be like talking, but like have my eyes closed and just like trying to open my eyes and I can't.
Oh my God.
And today I realized I opened my eyes and like woke up. And I realized the thing is like I'm having all these dreams, I think, right before I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I can't open my eyes and talk to this person because I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm in my dream, I'm awake, but my eyes are closed. But I think the whole thing of like signaling me, it's trying to tell me like, wake up, open your eyes
Wow.
and wake up.
I wonder what that means.
It was a real weird like moment of realization. But now I feel like now that I like know that, it makes like, because I get really bad anxiety in the dream being like I'm having a full conversation with this person, my eyes are completely closed.
I do that all the time. You know what I do? I text in my dreams.
Yeah.
Not actually text, but I'll have like I'll have a full ass conversation with somebody in my dreams and wake up and be like, that didn't happen. I look at my phone and there's no
Yeah.
like text conversation. I've had it with my dad. I've had it with
Yeah.
Caroline. I've had it with like multiple people, and it's very weird. And then the dream I had last night, which nobody wants to hear about my dreams, but it's some reason it's sticking in my head. I was in an apartment and the other two apartments were being like redone across the hallway.
Uh-huh.
And the builder, it was like a new manager, new landlord, and he wanted me out of my apartment. So he wrote me a check for 50 grand and handed it to me
Tight.
and was like, hey, I need you out of here basically tomorrow. This is like, can you leave and go get another apartment? And I was like, absolutely. And then I woke up very much bummed that I didn't have a check
That
for
you didn't
50
have a
grand in
50
my hand. Yeah.
Grand in
I
your
remember being like,
pocket.
oh my God, that pays for like my Vegas weekend, like
yeah.
some credit cards I can pay. I was like, wow,
Just
that's
the
really,
Vegas
really
weekend.
helpful. Yeah, just the Vegas weekend. No,
Yeah,
I
only
was
pays
up
for the Vegas weekend.
my Vegas weekend, my first gambling Vegas weekend. I ended up a hilariously even $7.
Wow.
I
Do
had
you have like a cash out voucher for like 7 cents that you're like, I can't
no,
do
so I
anything with
had
this?
I went in with a predetermined number of dollar bills in my
Uh-huh.
head that I could cash out. So I took out at the beginning of the weekend, took out my stack, if you will,
Okay.
and said, this is the money I'm comfortable losing in Las Vegas.
Okay.
I got down about half or more than half of that the first night.
Okay.
It's like, this is going well. And by the end of Las Vegas, not including dinners, that was like card stuff,
Yeah.
card, drink, whatever, straight gambling, I was up $7 on the entire weekend.
Nice.
And it wasn't like I took out $50 and was upset. A larger amount of money than that.
But you're up
$7.
At least you're in the black.
I was even, or I was more than even.
Yeah.
I was in the black.
Congrats on
Thank you.
$7.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I want to go back. Saw your mom there, by the way, and your dad.
I know.
Yeah, they were having fun.
Yeah.
Your mom plays.
Video poker.
I've never seen anybody play so many video poker hands in a minute. It's
Quickly.
like
It's quick.
it's a wizard. It's wizardry.
Yeah.
It's well done though. I think they had fun.
I think so.
We had fun. Did you have fun today?
I had a great time.
Me too. Adam, thank you. And if you guys could leave a voicemail for us, the hotline, 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or hop in to our Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast and click the link there to leave a message for us as well. Sally, where can the people find you?
Sally deFries on Instagram and Twitter.
I am Brett Merriman at Schmerriman on both Instagram and Twitter. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.